I don't know who needs to hear this, but ladies, stop pursuing men. Guys will be like, oh, I love when a girl asks me out. No, you don't. Yeah, it's flattering. You like the attention and all of that, but you don't really want to be pursued. Dating is so confusing now. Men are like, well, I need some kind of consent. And women are so strong and independent that they're like, well, I should go after what I want. Like, yeah, modern dating is fucking weird.
I love how modern women are so confused about modern day dating. You know, why aren't men pursuing us anymore? Why aren't men out here making it happen? Okay, and women like this are so damn confused that dudes have decided to opt out. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with some more stupid videos. And on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, who is essentially just losing her mind because now men are not doing the pursuing anymore. And also a lot of women these days are forced to do the pursuing, okay? And usually when women are doing the pursuing, just by the way, they are, of course, only doing it for the top percentage of men. The average man is completely invisible during all of this. But let's jump into this woman's unhinged rant and see if we can make some sense of it. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but ladies, stop pursuing men. Guys will be like, oh, I love when a girl asks me out. No, you don't. Yeah, it's flattering. You like the attention and all of that.
Okay, so just by the way, this is women that she's describing. Have you guys ever noticed when women do these sorts of TikTok videos that they just portray all of the behavior that women do onto men? Oh, you don't pursue because you like to get free attention and free validation. Actually, it's women who are soaking up the free attention. It's the women who encourage dudes to make the first move, even though dudes have absolutely no interest in them. You know, we see the advice from women all the time, guys. Oh, if you want a woman to like you, just talk to her all the time. You know, be her texting buddy. Make sure you leave likes on her photos. Don't forget to drop a comment, right? But none of these people are actually typically interested in these men. What they're doing is they are soaking up free attention. Women literally designed this whole you know, dating for attention game. So I don't feel sorry for them when they're out here chasing some bad boy and he just won't ask her out and the woman has to make the move. I don't feel sorry for these women whatsoever. They literally invented this stuff.
Men. Guys will be like, oh, I love when a girl asks me out. No, you don't. Yeah, it's flattering. You like the attention and all of that, but you don't really want to be pursued. Dating is so confusing now. Men are like, well, I need some kind of consent.
I love how she's, you know, using this kind of language here. She says men are looking to get consent, and she has this mocking tone on her voice. Yes, men have to make sure that there is consent there these days. You know, gone are the days where the man could be bold and make the first move and really go ahead and sweep you off your feet. Because these days, men are likely to catch a court case at some point or another. If they're out here, you know, just making moves happen and just sweeping women off their feet, for lack of better words, a lot of these guys end up getting in trouble. You know, women make false accusations all of the time these days. And I'm not saying that bad things don't go on, obviously. But what I am saying is that there have been a lot of times where men haven't done anything wrong. Maybe the women just regret sleeping with him, for example, or maybe she didn't appreciate his advance in the first place because he wasn't attractive. And then all of a sudden, this guy's social life is ruined. You know, his career can be ruined and so on. So she might joke, haha, you know, men are out here seeking this consent thing. But this is what women asked men to do, by the way. This is what women said. Hey, no means no. So men said, okay, not a problem. I'll go out there and make sure I have consent. And then, of course, this is now a problem for modern women. One of the best ways to ensure that you have consent is when the woman makes the move. But of course, they absolutely hate doing that, don't they?
And women are so strong and independent that they're like, well, I should go after what I want.
Just by the way, no heterosexual man is really attracted to strong and independent women. Here's the thing about this whole strong and independent language. when women say that they're strong and independent, they don't really mean that they are strong and independent. What they really mean is I'm a headache, and I'm incredibly, I'm very masculine. I'm oftentimes a complete a-hole, right? Guys, I know men who are, for lack of better words, very, very strong and independent. They pay their own bills. They do everything by the book. And I have never once heard these friends of mine or these dudes just come out here and say, I'm strong and independent. Because the types of people who are saying that have attitude problems. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, modern dating is fucking weird. Everyone will agree with that, I think. But women still want to be pursued, and men still want to be the pursuer.
Is that right? Men still want to pursue. Really? How's that working out for you? Because I'm sorry, didn't we open up this video by saying that women should never pursue men? So we're talking about the lack of men pursuing here, but we're also simultaneously talking about how men apparently want to be the pursuer. Here's the thing, guys. I don't think that men mind pursuing women. What they do mind is whether or not it's actually worth their time and whether or not it's just worth doing in general. Because a lot of modern day women are simply not worth pursuing. You want romantic, chivalrous treatment from these men, but you offer nothing in return. Dudes did this, by the way, as a privilege to women. They would make the first move. They would be chivalrous. They would do all the things by the book. And that was a privilege that men offered women because they thought that women were worth doing this for. These days, guys, ain't no man with self-respect out here getting flowers for the average woman on a dating application. Oh, hell no. It's not happening.
And it works best when that is how it goes. I'm trying to teach this lesson to my friend right now, and someone had to teach me this lesson too, by the way, because we're both really strong, independent women, and we're like, well, I like him, and I want what I want. But I would say generally it's more attractive to a man if you're just like in your feminine, receptive energy, which is really...
Okay, here's the thing, right? Let me just say this. If you are a woman and you have to switch back and forwards between being masculine and being feminine, we don't want you. I'm pretty sure I can speak for a lot of guys when I say this. I don't want to date a woman. I don't want to marry a woman. I don't want to be with a woman who is masculine sometimes and then feminine other times. And she changes based on when she decides to do it. Absolutely not. Men are out here, the guys who are still out there dating, which by the way is an ever shrinking pool, they are looking to be with feminine women. This is why dudes leave the country. This is why men are going to other places. They don't want to date women who are masculine, who we have to convince to be feminine. This is not, can you guys, I've said this point before, but can you imagine if this was the other way around and dudes were out here, excuse me, wearing like dresses and things like this. And we were like, yeah, I'm not going to stop wearing these dresses, but women have to convince me to be masculine. Like why would women want to go out here, a heterosexual woman want to go and date a dude who has previously worn a lot of dresses and is likely to do it again? No, they're probably not going to be all that interested in you. But of course, dudes are just expected to come out here and date masculine women who are strong and independent. No. And oh, great, you're feminine now, right? You've hit 30 years of age and now you decide to be feminine because you're ready to receive. Get the hell out of here, guys. They're just looking to receive funds. That's really what it is.
Him, and I want what I want. But I would say generally it's more attractive to a man if you're just like in your feminine, receptive energy, which is really hard for a lot of us to do, but just try it. This is what I've been trying to teach my friend. Like, she'll meet someone she's attracted to and she'll be like sprung immediately. She'll ask for his number. She'll say, let's go out. She might even be the one to say, let's go grab drinks.
Yeah, see, this is what women do when they're attracted to dudes. This is simply what it is, okay? So when women are going through, ever since 18 up until they're pushing 30, this is oftentimes what they will do. And they'll continue to do it later, but they have to fish out a long-term relationship in that middle part. Got to get the marriage, got to get the kids, running out of time. But usually what women will do is they will just approach the men, and they will make it super easy for men that they find attractive. This is why it boggles my mind, guys, when dudes are out here like, oh, she took this long to reply to my text, and I asked her out, but she wasn't super clear on her answer. What do I do? It's like, she's not interested, man. These women make it so damn easy for the men that they're attracted to. You see what I'm saying? Like, they will absolutely make it happen if the dude is attractive enough to her. Now, the guy who has to put in more effort, he's got to be a good boy. He's got to be, contributing financially. He has to really work for her, guys. You have to pursue her. And this is the dating strategy of modern women. Some men, apparently, are required to court them for extended periods of time and invest them. But the other men who are attractive to them, which, but bear this in mind, guys, women are not attracted to the average man. Men and women have very different thresholds for what they find attractive in the opposite gender. Women are constantly looking at the top percentage. Dudes will take some woman around the middle, and he could see himself, having bedroom fun with her or having a relationship with her. But for modern women, it doesn't really work the same. They pursue the men that they find attractive, which is typically the top percentage of them.
One, to say, let's go grab drinks, she'll be texting first, all of that. And sometimes she's successful in that pursuit, but it doesn't develop into anything more.
Yeah, of course not. Right? Of course not. Because what ends up happening is the dude has his fun and then he bounces. He's not interested in having a relationship with you. I mean, obviously, these dudes who have options who you have to pursue in the first place, guys, women act like this is so confusing and it takes over a decade to figure out. It really isn't. Your father could have told you this in 2 seconds. But oftentimes these women don't have a father figure. They don't listen to the men in their life, because why would I listen to a man? I don't need no man. I'm strong and independent. Maybe if you listen to dudes, and the ones who actually cared about you, not the ones trying to sleep with you, they could easily tell you that, these dudes are not going to have a relationship with you. Try speaking to your family. Try speaking to any dude that you are related to.
They'll go on 1 or 2 dates, and then for most girls like her and me, it's a control thing. We're control freaks. We can't just surrender and allow. I think it also comes from a lack mentality. It's oh my God, I don't meet people I like that often. Let me wrestle him to the ground and kill him and make him be my boyfriend. And her argument is always, well, why don't I get to decide? Why can't I say, I like him, I want to be with him? Why do I have to let it be his decision?
So the reason why is because men control access to relationships, particularly the men who these women are wanting, right? The dudes who have options, they're not going to just have a relationship with you simply because you exist. You might be able to get some simp to have a relationship with you, but that's the thing, guys, that modern women struggle with. I've said this is their biggest problem in dating, from what I can tell as a man just seeing this crap, is usually the issue that they're having is just that they can't get relationships from the men that they want. The men that they don't want, they think that they're above these dudes. Oh, this guy is not as attractive, right? He's got a receding hairline. Meanwhile, she's 30. This guy's got a receding hairline, or this guy's not tall enough, or this guy, he only makes $50,000 a year, which, mind you, as far as I know, for US dollars, that's a little bit above average, I think. But of course, they're not interested in average men. This is why, right? You can't say, I like him, I'm going to have a relationship with him, because the men that you're choosing have a bunch of options and they have no reason to commit to masculine women. That's really what it boils down to. You have zero leverage over the men that you want. Women think that they have leverage because they get likes on Instagram. They think that because they get attention, this means that it translates to having a relationship. But getting bedroom attention, shall we call it, from men is not the same as getting a relationship out of them. And this is something that women are finding out the hard way.
Why can't I say, I like him, I want to be with him? Why do I have to let it be his decision? And you're not. You get to decide if you want him to pursue you or not. And if he's not pursuing you, he doesn't want you. And obviously that's a hard pill for anyone to swallow. But if you're the one pursuing, then you never know how he feels anyway. So you're going to be insecure regardless. Men want what they can't have.
Oh my goodness. This is why you just don't listen to women for dating advice. Men want this, men want that. No, we don't. A lot of guys just want a feminine woman who's going to make his life more peaceful. You know, don't eat a bunch of McDonald's, be pleasant to be around, and you are essentially there for most men. Most men do not have the same lists of requirements that women have. You don't need to be very highly attractive, okay? You don't need to go out here and make 100K a year. There's no particular height requirement that a lot of guys will enforce. Like, a lot of guys will prefer a woman who's a little bit shorter than him, as far as I know. That's what the studies reflect anyway, but dudes are not going to care that much about your height. We're certainly not going to really give a damn about your income. We're not going to give a damn about your education. We just want you to be pleasant to be around and not overweight. And you are essentially there. I think that dudes personally should have more requirements from women, but a lot of guys really don't. That's all that they're looking for. So when you get to 30 years of age and you still don't have a man, that is completely on you. Absolutely on you. It's not the dude's fault. It is your selection process and thinking that you deserve a lot better than you actually do.
This is why so many relationships start out with the girl being like, well, I wasn't even really interested in him at first. And the man had to jump through like flaming hoops in order to win her over.
Yeah,
because the woman was just like naturally in the position of being feminine and receptive on accident because she didn't care. So he's like, when can I see you? I wanna be with you. Let's get married. And at first she's like, and then she's like, oh, that's so masculine of you.
No. Let's back up here a second. So what's happening, right? This is a thumbnail expression and a half, isn't it? We're just going to leave it here. So here's the thing about this situation. Women are not attracted to these dudes. That's why these men, when they get into these long-term relationships and these marriages, there's no bedroom action, there's no nothing. The dude's expected to provide everything. She doesn't go, oh, wow, he's so masculine, this is great. No. This dude is her retirement plan. You see? It's a dual mating strategy. Go out there, hook up with the attractive men, and then lock down a dude who's going to provide for you and give him nothing. That's really what it boils down to, guys. Different treatment for different men. You know, that's essentially what it is. The woman doesn't all of a sudden go one day, oh, he's so masculine, I appreciate this type of behavior now. No, they don't. Okay, and I guarantee you, by the way, here's the thing also is the behavior is not really the issue. It's just how attractive the man is. You see what I'm saying? Bad boys who are attractive can get away with any sort of behavior they want. They can be nice, they can be not nice, they can be this, they can be that. Doesn't really matter. I think if you're a very attractive guy, oftentimes being nice is going to work to your detriment with how broken a lot of these modern women are because they just perceive it as weakness. But you'll still be able to make it happen because you're attractive. Dudes who provide everything, however, they have to be nice all the time. They have to be making things happen. And they have the requirements for these guys. It's so stupid. The men that they give the least to in terms of intimacy, caring, you know, feminine things, maybe looking after him when he's sick and making food, these sorts of behaviors, like the men that they require the most from, they actually give the least of this to. But some random bad boy that she met at a bar who she's attracted to, he'll get all of these benefits, you know? I would
be with you. Let's get married. And at first she's like, and then she's like, oh, that's so masculine of you. Stop asking them out. Stop asking for their... Stop saying, how was your day? Stop saying, I'd like to see you again. You're welcome in advance.
This woman, guys, this woman is absolutely bonkers. You see, this is everything that's wrong with modern women, essentially, is what they do. In this woman's own words, just before we continue to the next clip. So what did this woman decide to do? She decided to hook up with a whole bunch of bad boys, as did her friend that she is now giving advice to, by the way. They both decided to go out there and hook up with a bunch of dudes who were attractive and had no interest in pursuing them. And then what do? They get older, and now they're like, well, it's really time for me to get that retirement plan in order. I need a man. I don't want to work until I'm really, really old. I want to be able to have a retirement plan. I want to be able to have kids if I want to, because my biological clock is ticking. Now it's time to get a dude who's a provider. And also, by the way, this is why paternal fraud is so damn high too, is because women are going out here, they're getting, you know, they're having the provider relationships because that's the only relationships they can get, by the way. These attractive guys don't want to commit to them. So they go out here and they have these relationships with these guys who are going to provide for them, give them next to no bedroom intimacy whatsoever. But meanwhile, a lot of them are still cheating. Like they're still out here sleeping with the men that they find attractive. And oftentimes they are actually having kids to these dudes while in relationships. So when they inevitably leave after a few years, then she can get him on the hook for child support for a kid that isn't even his. This is why I think DNA testing, it should be absolutely mandatory, by the way, guys. I think it should be absolutely mandatory. Let's jump into the next clip here. This is a woman who is married, I believe, who is trash talking her husband, and she's going to attempt to paint herself as the victim. Let's take a listen.
So the other day, my husband, who I've been married to for 17 years, but am now going to be divorcing, told me that marrying me was the biggest mistake he's made in his life. And I responded to it with like sarcasm and kind of snark, like me, like marrying me, I'm the biggest mistake that you've ever made. Because that's how I usually have responded to those types of comments that he makes over the years.
You know what the first thing I think of when I see a woman making claims like this is like, okay, if he's claiming that it's a mistake to be married to you, what did you do? Dudes, people don't just say this for no reason, by the way, particularly men. Men are very direct when they communicate a lot of the times. So what, did you cheat on him? What did you do? You know, because if the dude said he regrets marrying you, I mean, let's hear it. What is this in response to? What these women would have you believe is that these men are just making mean comments for no reason, and it's been pervasive throughout the entire relationship, and she just is in an unsafe position and the man is terrible. Guys, if you have ever been in, probably a lot of dudes can recognize this. If you've ever been in a relationship, oftentimes women do this stuff when they're looking to leave the relationship or they've left, is they just start lying about your character and trying to blame everything on you, like it's all just your fault. Unprovoked, you're an aggressive man, you say mean things, and so on. They're doing reputation damage to you, even if she could completely be the one who's a complete psycho.
But later on, afterward, I kind of sat in my room and I actually cried. I cried about it, like sobbed, actually.
Good. Oh no, guys, she was sobbing and she was crying. Yeah, sorry, I have completely run out of sympathy, empathy, whatever you want to call it, for people who cry on the internet or say that they cry on the internet. Don't care, sorry.
Afterward, I kind of sat in my room and I actually cried. I cried about it, like sobbed, actually. And I thought to myself that this is actually a good sign, because I have spent so many years in our marriage listening to comments like that. You know, you've ruined my life. You took all my money. You're the worst person.
Oh, so we stole from the guy, did we? Is that what we did? You took all my money. You're the worst. See, what is this guy doing? Is he just making these random comments for no damn reason? Did you ruin his life? Did you take all of his money? Like, can we stop pretending that dudes are just out here and we're completely schizophrenic or something and we're just throwing around words for no reason?
If you took all my money, you're the worst person. And I've like numbed myself to it over the years. Like, I just kind of numbed myself or made excuses like, oh, he's just stressed, he's angry, or he's, you know, going through a lot. And I just kind of went along with it and just... But to get through it, I just kind of had to numb myself. And I guess, in a way, like, had to diminish my own humanity to not let these things get to me so I wouldn't, like, fall apart. You know, I had 2 kids to raise, a family to keep going. Like, I couldn't afford to be hurt. You know what I mean? Now that I don't want to be married anymore, I am really telling myself that it's time for me to reclaim my humanity.
Holy hell. I'm so done. So what these women do is, this is the final evolution, right? So we had this woman back here, okay? And this is like pre relationship with a simp or going out there looking for some dude to have a long-term relationship with, right? And then this is afterwards, okay? So now we've been in a relationship for a while, and now we're looking for excuses to leave this guy. You know, like, again, guys, these women stay with these dudes for long periods of time, and so then they just have to make up something or like give a half truth about a situation that happened ages ago, blame the guy, and then just use this as their justification for leaving the relationship. You know, oh, he did this many years ago, or throughout the relationship he did this, and let's just say the guy actually did that. First of all, a lot of the times it's not true anyway. But second of all, even if the guy did do, like, say, hey, listen, it was a mistake marrying you, maybe it actually was a mistake marrying you. Maybe she took his money. You know, maybe she did something, maybe she cheated on this guy, and so on and so forth. Now, I don't think you should be with a woman who cheats on you. I don't think you should be with anyone who cheats on you, regardless of your gender. But you see my point. Women start to look for reasons that happened in the past, truthfully or not, to go ahead and divorce their husbands in the future. Right? We're digging up reasons, but don't worry, guys. She's going to be reclaiming her humanity. What is this language, by the way? When have you ever heard a dude talk like this? Yeah, I left my wife, man, because of these mean words she said many years ago. And I'm just here to reclaim my humanity. Like, what? Okay, all right.
I don't want to be married anymore. I am really telling myself that it's time for me to reclaim my humanity.
Oh, you go,
and that
queen.
means that there's going to be things that are going to be said to me that are going to hurt me, and I'm going to go ahead and like absorb that hurt. I'm going to feel the feelings. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to intellectualize. I'm just going to feel it. Let my emotions freely flow. And if that means I cry, I cry. If that means I get angry, I get angry. I'm going to feel again. I'm going to be a human being again. And that's probably one of the things I'm looking forward to in this entire process is I just want to be a person again.
You see, this is where I just start to like completely believe that so many modern women are just crazy, man, because they have no grasp of the English language. They're just throwing out words. Yeah, I want to feel again. I want to be a human again. You know, I'm looking forward to crying. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what kind of substances is this woman inhaling? Like, what is going on for people, specifically modern women, to even talk like this in the first place? I'll tell you what's going on, right? What's happening is she's just looking for some excuse to divorce her husband. Usually what happens is women think they've been with a guy long enough that they can get money, or maybe the dude's become successful for a sufficiently long amount of time so that she can go out there and get child support. Usually what happens is when women are leaving situations like this, it's completely opportunistic, you see, right? Maybe if she left earlier, she wasn't in a position to get money, or if she did, it wasn't going to be that much. And this is what I'm talking about, where women are oftentimes, they're not treating their marriages like marriages till death do us part and so on. What they're essentially treating it like is a retirement plan, and then they're confused why modern day dudes are not approaching them and making things happen. You know, why aren't men trying to marry us anymore? Why aren't men trying to pursue us? And this is exactly why. This is what lies at the end of the road for dudes who are nice and do have everything by the book. She might claim that this is an awful, mean man, but me personally, I don't think that's the case. I think she's absolutely full of it. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.